everyone, Zeddy here again today with our last video of the day. I promise the patch notes are live. The 27.6 patch notes, it's live in the game. It has the free legendary, the pre-orders, all that. But there were a bunch of buffs to Journey to Un'Goro cards because they're going to be in the next Twist season. But that's live right now for like Wild, for Duels. We're going to go over all those changes. And there's a bunch of free stuff to get in Hearthstone today, over the next few weeks, as well as this weekend. So we're going to go into all of that. And of course, reminder, our giveaway is going on for a mega bundle out of my pocket, 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. All you have to do to enter that giveaway, like a comment in the video, in the description below. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs up until BlizzCon, I will add another mega bundle, the like $80 bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So we already know we got the pre-orders, all of that, the new free legendary. We went over that, we reviewed it. BlizzCon ticket, oh, we could buy more stuff, that's great. But the big thing is the Twist seasonal update. Wonderful Un'Goro, the next season in November will include all sets from like Legacy Classic all the way up, instead of Mean Streets, will now be to Journey to Un'Goro with the Caverns of Time, Wild only, Twist only expansion being included in that still. And we have a ton of updates to cards. So let's go over them. There's this Hearthstone article that kind of sorted all the changes so we can go through all of them. And there's some really crazy ones and one that I just absolutely love. First, Jungle Giants. Basically, instead of having to summon 5 minions to get your quest reward, which will basically make it so all the minions in your deck cost 0, you now have to summon 4 minions with 5 or more attack. Tarantus is now a 14/14 and also has taunt. So yeah, good luck getting through that. That's actually pretty insane. And it's a lot easier to cheat out now, as Giant Anaconda, or Anaconda, yes, now has taunt. This card didn't used to have taunt. 7 mana 5/3. You could ignore it or whatever. This card saw play back in the day. I used to play Big Druid all the time. It's really cool to do that. And yeah, that card was a big part of it. Evolving Spores goes down to 3. Was never very meta, not much of a meta card, but at 3, I could see that working out. In particular, Druid, absolutely broken. Verdant Lawn Neck is now a 5/5 instead of a 5/4. Probably still pretty bad. Swamp King Dread goes to 6 mana 9/9. Pretty nice stats. And yeah, actually probably pretty relevant. Especially this could be like a combo disabler and stuff like that. So another pretty relevant buff. Stampede never really saw play at 1, now at 0. So we'll see if that works out. Dinomancy also never really saw play. Changes your hero power to give a beast +2/+2. Now gives +3/+3. Terror Scale Stalker goes from a 3 mana 3/3 to a 2 mana 2/3. I don't love this one because this card's already good and it saw a lot of play, especially like Devilsaur Egg and later on Cubes and all that. It's a really good card and it just got really crazy at 2. So look out for that one. Tolvir Warden, instead of a 5 mana 3/5, it's a 4 mana 3/4 that draws 2/1 cost minions from your deck. Raptor Hatchling now shuffles, instead of a 4/3 Raptor, a 4/5 Raptor. Grievous Bite, instead of dealing 2 damage, deals 3 damage to a minion and 1 to adjacent ones. And goes over the tokens here. Queen Carnassa for the Hunter quest now has Rush and shuffles 20 Raptors into your deck instead of 15. And those Raptors are 1 mana 3/2s that have Battle Cry, draw a card. Wonder if that'll ever, maybe Life Coach is gonna even go crazier. He was like losing it over that quest back in the day. Pyros, instead of giving a 6 mana 6/6 and a 10 mana 10/10, now gives a 4 mana 6/6 and an 8 mana 10/10. Jaina is not active in Twist, so they can't get lifesteal yet, but in Wild, yeah, you can give these lifesteal, and that's pretty sick. So you get to play above the curve on your next 2 battle or death rattle options, right? So that's pretty cool. Meteor was always a really good card, and it's even better now. Deals 15 still, but 4 damage to adjacent minions. Shimmering Tempest, instead of being a 2/1 death rattle, add a random mage spell to your hand. It's now a 2 mana 2/2 Battle Cry. Slightly worse with Frostlet's Jaina though now. You can't ping it get a water elemental and get a spell right away. So that's almost a nerf to me in some ways. But yeah, it's basically Babbling Book for 2 mana. I actually don't like that change. It's one of the rare ones I don't like for that. The last Kaleidosaur, the Paladin quest, now you have to cast 5 spells on your minions to get Galvadon, and I believe Galvadon got buffed as well. It is now an 8/8 instead of a 5/5. So Brian Kibler, maybe he'll come back to play. And by the way, in the Twist season, Caverns Below is banned, which is just phenomenal. You don't have to worry about that garbage. Dino Size is now 7 mana instead of 8, and you get Ultra Source stats instead of 10/10. So that's kind of cool. Primal Fin Champion goes to a 1/3 instead of a 1/2. Pretty relevant, but it's something. Vine Cleaver goes to 6 mana. This weapon was pretty nuts at 7 back in the day, and I guess it hurts odd paladins, but even paladins can run this. This is a huge buff in my opinion, and we'll definitely see play at least in Twist. Lightfuse Stegodon is now a 3 mana 3/3 instead of, I think it was a 4 mana 3/4. Another pretty impactful buff. Hydrologist, which was a really good like auto include card in almost every paladin deck from Agoro on for quite a long time, now discovers and casts the secret. That's pretty nuts. That is a pretty darn powerful card. Like, it was already good. Adaptation wasn't, and now it's 0 mana, so pretty good with Galvadon and all of that. Awaken the Makers. You now need to summon 6 Death Rattle minions instead of 7. This is very popular in duels already. It's only going to get more popular to get that Amara, to sit your health to 40, get that big taunt. Lyra goes to 4. I don't love that. Already a good card back in the day. But yeah, you could go Radiant Lyra on 6 now, which is pretty relevant. Curious Glimmerroot is a 3 mana 3/4. Mirage Caller can summon a 1/1 copy of any minion, not just your own, any minion, so that's pretty relevant. Crystalline Oracle is a 1/2 because why not? Free from Amber is now 7 mana. It's a nerf to Spiteful Priest, which ran this to get a random 8-drop. But yeah, you could cheat out an 8-drop on turn 7 or a 10-drop on turn 7. So that's pretty good. Tortolin Shellraiser is now 3 mana. So there you go. It has 5 health instead of 6, I believe. Sherazin, one of my favorite cards of all time, goes from a 5/3 to a 6/3. I just love the way Sherazin dances. Biteweed gets an extra health. Mimic Pod goes to 2 mana. Obsidian Shard costs 1 less for each non-rogue class card added to your hand this game. So why not, I guess. And Venom Weapon is now 2 mana, so Kingsbane can play this for cheaper, but they still murder everything anyways. It's kind of pointless. Razor Petal Volley and Razor Petal Lasher get buffed because the Razor Petal itself now deals 2 damage. It says when you play 4 cards in a turn, revive this minion. I feel like they just changed the wording. I don't think this card is any different in that regard. Calamos is now 7 mana instead of 8. You now have to summon 8 Murlocs for Unite the Murlocs instead of 10. I still see this card to this day in Wild, so I'm sure a lot of people will be really happy about that. Stone Sentinel goes to 5 mana. You get 2/3 elementals with taunt for 5 mana if you played an elemental last turn. That's pretty nuts. Spirit Echo never really saw play, but at 2 mana, maybe it's got more of a shot. Volcano goes to 5, stays at 5, but overloads 1 instead of 2. Tidal Surge does 5 damage with Lifesteal instead of 4. Chittering Tunneler is a 2 mana 2/2 instead of a 3 mana 3/3. Still have to, take that damage and all of that. Cruel Dinomancer goes down to 5 mana. People that like to do the infinite Cruel Dinomancer combo can try and do it a little bit easier now. Beating Time goes down to 4 mana, and not only that, you summon the 3/1/1 Pterodaxes or whatever it's called. You also adapt them, so you can give them Divine Shield or Health or whatever. Huge improvement of the card. It was terrible at 5. It's a decent arena card though, but this is actually seems really, really good. Ravenous Pterodax goes to a 3 mana 3/3. Saw it play as a 4/4 for a little bit of time. Now for the Nether Portal on the Warlock quest, you get 4 imps instead of 2, so they buffed the discard quest. King Mosh is now a 7 mana 9/7 instead of 9 mana. Sudden Genesis is now 4 mana instead of 5 mana. Molten Blade basically transforms into a new weapon when in hand that changes each turn. So I guess it will work right away when you draw it. It's not a 1/1 right away. That's assume what the changes. Direhorn Hatchling is now a 5 mana 4/6 and gives you an 8-12 taunt. So that's an improvement as well. Direhorn, ordinary Direhorn is now a 6-6 instead of a 5-5. Tar Lord is 6 mana instead of 7 mana. You now get that bigger taunt with your death rattle, the 8-12. Choose your path, Journey to Ungoro. Now 0 mana. They actually nerfed the whole Skulking Geist Journey to Ungoro thing. That's actually pretty relevant if that's actually the buff. I have to double check, but that actually might upset some people. Osrook, instead of a 9 mana 5-5, is an 8 mana 8-8. Huge buff. Vorax is now a 3-4 for 3 mana instead of a 4 mana 3-3. Elise is my favorite change of them all. She's now a Highlander support card. You shuffle the pack into your deck, and if your deck has no duplicates, you draw that pack right away. So you get that value immediately. You don't have to try and find it. A bit of a nerf to like Reno Priest, though, if they're trying to Shadow Visions and get an extra copy of it. So be aware of that. Bright-Eyed Scout is now a 3 mana 3-4. Doesn't curve from 4 into 5 like it did before, but whatever. It's a bit of a buff. Emerald Hive Queen, instead of being a 2-3, is a 3-3. Toller Primalist is now a 5-5 instead of a 5-4 to be in line with the other Mage Turtle. Charged Devilsaur is now a 7 mana 7-7. So there you go. You can cheat that out a little, or play it faster and try and go face. Blaze Caller, instead of 7 mana, is 6 mana. Volcanosaur is now 6 mana instead of 7 mana. Tolvir Stone Shaper is a 4 mana 3-6. Stonehill Defender is now a 3 mana 1-5. Frozen Crusher goes down from 6 mana to 5 mana. And Bittertide Hydra is already a 5 mana 8-8 on Goro with 2 5 mana 8-8s. Servant of Kalamos is now a 5-5. Sated Thresh-Adon now is a 5-8 and has Taunt, so you got to try and get through that. So I don't know if it'll see play, but it's better. Giant Mastodon now is a 9 mana 6-12 instead of 6-10. Fire Plume Phoenix now deals 3 damage instead of 2. Stubborn Gastropod has 3 health instead of 2. Primal Fin Lookout is a 2 mana 3-2. Pretty big buff for Murloc decks. It's a really nice one. A Volatile Elemental goes from a 1-1 to a 3-1. Igneous Elemental also gets goes from a 2-3 to a 3-3. So that's all the changes. That's a lot, and they're live right now, so you can check that out if you want to play Wild. They'll be live in Twist next season, and these patch notes were just a mess. It was so hard to follow. Thank you to Hearthstone for having that. I'll link their patch thing down below. There's also Battlegrounds updates. We're not going to go into the patch notes. Will be linked below if you want to take a look. I didn't see any new heroes, just new minions and like anomaly changes. Hallow's End is now live in Hearthstone. There's the dual class arena, literally live right now. You want to play some dual class arena? I'll be streaming it later today, pretty shortly after this video goes live. I would play dual class arena. I love that stuff. The sets that are live for it are Path of Arthas, Rise of Shadows, Darkmoon Faire, Forge of the Barons, Festival of Legends, and Titans. Basically, you get to pick a base hero. So like, let's say Mage, and then you get to pick the hero power to go with it. So again, Warlock, and then your draft will consist of Mage and Warlock cards. And Deathlight will be in there for the very first time. So that's cool to check out. There's an in-game event with free packs. That's one of the ways you guys can get free packs right now. Unfortunately, the portraits are Battlegrounds only, but not unfortunate, I guess, if you like playing Battlegrounds. And the last thing, Community Day will be coming this weekend. I'll go into it in more detail on Saturday. Of course, I'll be streaming it. We actually have stuff to give away from Blizzard, but as well, starting today, right now, you can get a free pack in the shop right now, and that's going to be going on it says 1 free pack per week for a limited time. So log in if you haven't already, check the shop. There's a free standard pack you can just claim, and yeah, there'll be 9 packs to get this weekend. Again, I'll plug it more when the time comes, but I'm part of the creator program, so I'll have BlizzCon collection codes to give you. We already have the giveaway for 1. Now Blizzard's giving me more to give away. And mass pack opening is live. So once you get your pre-orders and all that, you'll be able to click the thing and open a bunch. I'll demonstrate it in tomorrow's day 1 patch review, where we'll go over all the new portraits, how the new cards are feeling. Did Wild get broken by anything? We'll have lots to talk about tomorrow, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.